Hello, LinkedIn, and welcome. I'm Coach Dora. I'm Coach Dora Mendez, and I support leaders who are done pushing through burnout and ready to lead in ways that are sustainable, inclusive, and human. Today is not about motivation, it's about creating a movement. Before we dive in, drop in the comments where you're joining us from today. And if you're watching the replay, type replay so I can still connect with you. Okay. Yeah, drop it in the comments. Let us know you're here, where you're writing from, where you're watching from. All right. So we know the world feels really heavy right now. The tragedies of the past year have asked so much of our nervous system, our sense of safety, our faith, while many of us are still expected to lead, work, show up like nothing's wrong. The Remote Wellness Club exists because the world is like this, not in spite of it. This isn't about escaping reality or forcing positivity. It's about learning how to stay grounded, connected, and human within it. As we move into 2026, this space is about practicing connection, accountability, and care in community, especially when the headlines are heavy. If wellness can no longer be an afterthought in your leadership, tap like so I know you're here with intention. So stick that like in the comments because um, wellness is a strategy. It's a leadership strategy. Most leaders I work with already know something needs to change. They've reflected, they've named the patterns, they've promised themselves next year will be different. But here's the hard truth: reflection without structure leads to frustration, not change. Willpower is not a leadership strategy. That's why most leadership intentions and wellness intentions disappear by February. The leaders who will thrive in 2026 won't be the busiest. They'll be the ones who treat energy as a leadership asset, center people, not just performance, and stop trying to do this work alone. Today, I'm walking you through 4 non negotiable actions that turn insight into sustainable leadership practice. Action 1: from reflection to SMARTY goals. We're moving beyond SMART goals. This is something I started really early on in my practice. If you follow me, if you follow Coach Dora LLC, you know that I really work to move from SMART to SMARTY. SMART being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. And the I and the E in SMARTY is inclusive and equitable. If your wellness goal only benefits you, but quietly costs others on your team, it's not leadership. It's you don't lead alone. It's not a solo thing. Inclusive and equitable, smart to smarty. So that's something that we would work on this wellness club. And really, here's an example. So here's an example of a smarty goal. So instead of I'll improve work-life balance, um, I will end all non-critical meetings by 4:30 p.m. 4 days a week and clearly communicate these boundaries to my team so I model sustainable leadership in real time. If this reframes how you think about goal setting, drop a like in the comments. Smart to smarty. Reframing goals and standards so that they are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound, inclusive, and equitable. Action two, wellness as a leadership practice. Wellness is not a perk, it's not a nice to have, it's a must have. Wellness is not a perk, it's a practice. And you start with psychological safety. You can ask your team, do you feel safe challenging my decisions without fear of penalty? Then turn insight into ritual. Brief, non work check ins, clear norms around availability, consistent follow through. These practices don't weaken leadership, they strengthen trust, and trust drives results. So, we'll be working on this action. How do you build trust? How do you drive results? How do you address uh, um, when you're challenged? Action three, growth where burnout lives. Here's a powerful reframe. Where burnout shows up most, where did burnout show up most for you last year? I can tell you where it did for me. As I pivoted into entrepreneurship and starting my own business, I felt like I had to be omnipresent everywhere, doing everything all the time. And I had to take a pause and reset and realize I can't be omnipresent everywhere all the time. I'm just one person. And I had to give myself some grace. So, where did burnout show up most for you last year? That's where your leadership growth opportunity is. Instead of adding another app or invest in boundary settings, um, you have to figure out, not on your own, but how to manage healthy conflict, where to invest in yourself, and create sustainable communication habits. In the comments, what drained you most last year? Please feel free to share with us. Was it meetings? Was it lack of clarity? Was it always being on? Um, Feel free to share. If you follow me, if you follow Coach Dora, I shared a lot of um, my challenges in 2025 and how I overcame them. And we'll talk a lot about how to leverage AI uh, to help you manage a lot of that workload to be more effective and efficient. Action four, accountability that actually works. This is the one leaders resist most and need the most. You don't lack discipline, you lack external accountability designed for real life. Sustainable leaders design systems for busy seasons, make commitments beyond themselves, grow in community, not isolation. That's the tagline for my podcast, Building Leadership Community. It can be lonely at the top, but it doesn't have to be. Um, when someone is expecting your check in consistently becomes easier than quitting. So, we'll talk a lot about authenticity and accountability in Coach Dora's Wellness Club. That's some of the things that I have planned for us. So before we move on to Q&A, any questions that you might have about what this is all about, what Coach Dora's Wellness Club is all about, I want to share something personal because this club didn't start as a business idea. It started as a leadership reckoning, my own. I've worked with leaders who told me I don't recognize myself anymore. I'm holding everyone else, but not one in but no one is holding me. I'm exhausted. Um, I don't know how to stop. And if I'm honest, I've been there too. Um, 2025 has been a rough year for so many of us, not just the political climate and the rhetoric and all the violence that has happened, but also so many layoffs. So many people have lost jobs this year. Um, so many people are now unhappy or overworked now because of those layoffs. So it's been a rough year. And while it's been a rough year, I have found that community and being in community has really helped. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Let's see if I can do this. Add to the stage. So I write about my own wellness journey this year and how gratitude as a leadership practice has really helped me. And I went on a lovely retreat to Hawaii. There are the beautiful gals of Latinas Rising Up in HR. And I wrote a lot about wellness, and that has kept me really grounded. And the reflection and the writing, it wasn't just writing it down. It really reflection and my gratitude journey helped lead to action. And having um, partners, accountability partners, really helped me. Um, you don't have to go it alone. It can be very lonely at the top, but it really doesn't have to be. So there was a moment in my own journey where I realized I was doing the right things. I was serving, I was producing, but I didn't have structures that supported my well being consistently. What became clear to me is insight alone doesn't sustain change, community does, practice does, accountability does. There are plenty of one off workshops, wellness slogan, productivity tools disguised as self care, but very few spaces built for leaders who want to lead inclusively, protect their energy, stay effective for the long term. That's the gap this club fills. So I've seen what happens when leaders are supported properly. Leaders I've worked with have set boundaries without losing trust, reduced burnout while increasing engagement, learn to lead with clarity instead of urgency. What is it? Done is better than perfect. Leaders I've worked with, um, many tell me this is the first space where they didn't feel like they had to perform leadership, that they could actually practice it. And that's what I want to create. I want to bring leaders together uh, in an authentic way and share in community accountability partnership. And so that's why I created the Wellness Club. This is not another course. It's not a course. It's a leadership practice space, a place to translate values into action, build habits that survive real life, and lead with support instead of isolation. So I want to hold space for questions, and I also want to share uh, what uh, what the benefits are of joining the Wellness Club, of and being a founding member, because this is the first time this club is opening. This is the inaugural cohort, and so we are opening only 26 in 2020 in 2026. We are opening only 26 founding members spots worldwide, and that's intentional. This allows for personal connection, real accountability, and a strong leadership culture. If you joined us today, and if you sign up today, you will be one of the 26 founding members. Lock in your lifetime pricing, help shape the future of this community. Empowering choice. You already know what needs to change. The question is, will you try to do it alone again, or will you choose support? So any questions in the comment? I'm happy to take questions. And what the club looks like, it will be launching in January 2026. We have the link in the comments. You can sign up. And again, we're only taking 26. And so I strongly urge you to sign up today. We're holding the sign up open until the 22nd. So for just 1 week from today to the 22nd, and the first 26 folks who sign up will have the opportunity to join the club, which will launch in January. And once our membership is solidified and our enrollment is solidified, then we'll work on some of the details with respect to, time and date and what works well. Um, and yeah, and so be sure to please sign up today to join Coach Dora's Wellness Club. If you have been following our Wellness Wednesdays posts and videos, we've been getting a tremendous response. We just hit 15,000 views on our YouTube channel. So we know the need is out there. Folks are responding tremendously to those short videos. And we're so lucky to really open this up. We know folks need the support, and this is so much better than a New Year's resolution. This is really a commitment to bring your authentic self, develop your leadership, and be accountable in a community that understands you, that gets you, where you can be safe. And we'll be doing real practical exercises using tools to uh, that we can turn into action. So we'll be using practical, actionable tools and strategies to propel your leadership in 2026, to create goals and strategies to protect your energy and be more effective. And so I'm Coach Dora Mendez. Thank you for leading with intention. I can't wait to welcome the first 26 to the Coach Dora Wellness Club. And yeah, so please send us your questions. Put your comments in the chat, and you'll find the link in the description. And if you're catching me on the replay, feel free to comment. We'll read every single comment, and we'll see you on YouTube for Wellness Wednesdays. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so thrilled, and I look forward to the founding membership and leading the cohort of leaders for wellness in 2026. Thank you so much, everyone.